Thanks, guys. I know that we are so excited about football being halfway through and curious to see how they'll continue to do with the rest of the season.
Yeah, Taylor, I'm excited to see how they're going to play against Northwestern this weekend. But let's look into Josie Jewell and see how he's been doing.
Yesterday, Iowa's Josie Jewell was named as a quarterfinalist for the Lot Impact Trophy by the Pacific Club Impact Foundation, which is responsible for honoring the nation's top defensive impact player at the end of the season. Along with that honor, Jewell was also named to the mid-season first-team All-American list by as many as 5 major outlets.
Jewell leads the Big Ten and is ranked 7th nationally with 70 total tackles. Semifinalists for the Lot Impact Trophy will be announced on November 8th. Stick with Daily Iowan TV Sports for Josie's progress.
The Iowa women's soccer team had to play Nebraska last night in a rare midweek game after the Hawks' original matchup with the Huskers in September was postponed.
It was back and forth matchup with Nebraska. 18 total shots on goal compared to Iowa's 5. But despite that, both teams ended regulation tied at 0.
In overtime, the Hawks kicked it up and started taking control on the offensive side of the ball. However, they could not convert the game, and the game went into a second overtime, but still ended in a 0-0 tie.
The Hawkeyes will be back in action against Wisconsin Saturday for their last home game of the year, and then they will end their regular season on the road at Illinois next Wednesday. Iowa currently sits at 9th in the Big Ten, so they're hoping to see a few wins to receive a berth in the Big Ten tournament.
The Iowa women's tennis team is now 2 invites into their season, and there are some new faces on the team making an impact on the court. Daily Iowan TV's Casey Lindkratz has the story.
Iowa women's tennis welcomes 3 freshmen to the team and hopes they improve as they go into a tough tournament season.
Daniel Bowers, Yufei Long, and Daniel Burridge are the newest additions to the Hawkeye women's tennis team this fall, and they are performing well to start the year. Bowers is from Alpharetta, Georgia, and throughout her high school career, she placed highly in many competitions. Long, a native of Shenzhen, China, came to the Hawkeyes with a 291 ranking from the International Tennis Federation and 2 wins over top 125 players. Last but not least, Burridge, a 2-time state champion and winner of multiple competitions during her high school career in Bradenton, Florida. Being a freshman can be difficult. The city is unfamiliar, classroom locations are confusing at times, and it can be challenging to manage time well. Add in being on an athletic team, and it can appear downright terrifying. Oftentimes, the help with this transition is found on the team.
Yeah, I think Zoe's been a really good leader. She's constantly texting us and making sure we're doing well with the transition. I hang out with her a lot on the weekends, and we go to dinner sometimes, as a team.
The other big difficulty freshmen face coming into the college arena is a higher level of play. Bowers and Long discuss strategies they use to prepare for various competition.
As a team, we've come up with power words, and we look at them before every match or practice.
Fight through every match and then perform the best for myself.
Freshmen look to bond as they head into their spring season. Reporting from Klotz Outdoor Tennis Courts, this is Casey Lindkratz, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
They are back in action today at the ITA Central Regionals in Lawrence, Kansas, today through Sunday.
As the Iowa field hockey team season is winding down, the Hawks took a step back and reflected on how their season has gone so far.
After this weekend, the Hawks are 5-10 with only 1 Big Ten win. Here's what the team had to say yesterday about how they view the season.
Like to be a bit higher up in the Big Ten standings. I think we're in a very tricky situation where if this weekend doesn't go to plan, we could end up in the 8th, 9th playoff to play that playout game, or we could end up joint 5th, I think. So it's definitely not somewhere where we wanted to be. We wanted to finish in the top 4 to be able to have that home game advantage.
We're just unsure how we're playing, and we haven't found our why, our why almost. But I think now that our team's growing together and we're kind of building as a unit, and we're playing more for each other, that will help us this weekend, definitely.
I think not necessarily where we expected to be, but I don't think we're in the worst position. I think that we definitely can bring a lot more, and I think that that's something that we have to do in order to keep our expectations kind of at that higher level and what we want.
Definitely, knew we had a younger team and, that we have a very, very hard schedule, but we really thought that, we'd be record-wise anyway, just in a little bit different spot. Our goal was to finish in the top 4 so we could host the first round of the Big Ten tournament, and we had some games not go our way. So the great thing is, we still have a lot of hockey left to play, and we have a chance to finish as high as 5th or as low as 8th, okay? So the next 2 games are going to be really important to determine that seeding.
Nothing's set in stone yet, so a few wins this weekend can really do us the world of good, and then the future's in our hands.
The Hawks will travel to East Lansing this Friday to take on the Michigan State Spartans and will host the Ohio State Buckeyes at home on Sunday. And they will have to get at least 1 win this weekend, or else they might not even qualify for the Big Ten tournament, which is set to kick off on October 28th.
Tune in tomorrow to watch Mary-Kate Harrion and Zach Mackey break down Iowa's matchup with Northwestern.
And they'll give you their predictions for the game. Guys, back to you.